Growing up, my bedroom was the only one that faced the front of the house street. When I was about 8 or 9, I woke up to my dad calmly, but firmly telling me to get up, go in the bathroom, and shut the door. I was annoyed because I was half asleep, but I listened. Apparently I was more tired than I realized, because I fell asleep on the bathroom floor. The next morning I asked my mom what happened. She seemed oblivious and confused. I looked at my dad, like he was crazy, and I asked him why he had woken me up. He denied doing it. I was becoming frustrated to the point of tears, but I ultimately let it go. Fast forward to college, I was home one break, and I decided to ask again. I had thought of that night off and on for years, and it still bothered me. This time, my dad said, "I was wondering if you even remembered that." Turns out that a lot of houses on our block were being vandalized and robbed all those years ago. Someone had broken into the garage and was inside the house. My room was partially over the garage. My dad heard it happen and quietly got me to safety. Police were called. The guy ran. He was never caught, however, and my parents didn't want a terrified kid on their hands, so for years they pretended like nothing ever happened. It wasn't supernatural, but it was unsettling for sure. Not to me, but to my sister. Her husband and her had just had their first child a few months prior. My brother-in-law was working the graveyard shift at his job, as my sister stayed home taking care of my nephew. Around 2 a.m., she heard loud knocking on her back door. She went to go check it out, and saw a lady banging on the door, asking for my sister to let her in. The lady told my sister that her husband had just beat her down the street, and was looking for her. My sister was hesitant to let her in, since she had a newborn in the house, and didn't want to interfere. She told the lady that the best she could do was call the police for her. The lady told my sister to not call the police, and to let her in. This is where my sister got suspicious. She went to get her phone and called 911. When she went back to the door, the lady was gone. The police arrived a few minutes later, and they told my sister that the same situation happened a few streets down. Apparently the couple would do this act to get into people's homes. I'm sure this is very common, but having it almost happen to my sister and my nephew just creeps me out. Some real Clockwork Orange shit.